So you've got the degree, you've got the technical chops, but are you missing that one thing that really separates the good from the great? Well, today we're unlocking the secrets of soft skills, what I like to call the invisible engine of your career. Think about the last person who got that promotion you were aiming for. Was it truly because they were better at the technical parts of the job? Or was there something else going on? We're about to explore what employers actually value, and the answer is the foundation for everything we're going to cover. For so long, we've been told that our technical abilities, our hard skills, are what matter most. But that's only seeing half the picture. So in this first part, we're looking beyond the code, beyond the spreadsheets and the certificates to see the full equation for success. Okay, picture your career like a scale. On one side, you've got your hard skills, the things you can learn from a book, like coding or accounting. They're heavy, they're important, no doubt. But look at the other side. Communication, teamwork, adaptability. These are your soft skills, and believe me, in today's world, they are what truly tip the scales in your favor. So what are soft skills, really? Try to think of them less like a list of traits and more like the operating system for your career. They're what allow all your hard skills to actually run effectively. They help you build relationships and just accelerate your growth. These are not just nice to haves, they are the engine. And listen, this isn't just some nice theory. The data is in. Employers are practically shouting from the rooftops that what they need most are people with the right attitude and solid people skills. Think about it. That brilliant coder who alienates their whole team, they're a liability. But a good coder who lifts everyone else up, that person is an incredible asset. That is the power of soft skills. All right, now that we know what soft skills are, where do we even begin to build them? Well, the answer might surprise you. It's not about learning to talk to other people first. It's about learning to understand yourself. This is all about mastering your inner world, the true foundation of all growth. And the absolute cornerstone of this inner world is self-awareness. Now, this isn't just about knowing you're good at giving presentations. It's about knowing why you get nervous before them, understanding what triggers your frustration, and being brutally honest about the areas where you need to grow. Without this clear-eyed view of yourself, real development is just impossible. So think of your inner self as being held up by these four powerful pillars. It all starts with your self-concept. That's the story you tell yourself about who you are. That story then fuels your self-esteem, your sense of worth. That, in turn, ignites your motivation, the fire that drives you forward. And kind of weaving through all of it is your emotional intelligence, your ability to manage your own feelings and connect with others. So why does all this inner work actually matter for your career? Well, because it's a direct feedback loop. When you build a positive self-image based on these pillars, you don't just feel better. You perform better. You become way more resilient. You bounce back from a tough meeting or a failed project so much faster because your foundation is solid. Okay, so once you've strengthened that inner foundation, you're ready to build outwards. Now, we're going to take that self-awareness and use it to connect with other people, to build bridges instead of walls in every single interaction. We call this whole set of skills interpersonal skills, but please don't think of it as just being nice. It is a strategic art form. It's the ability to navigate complex social situations, to turn a tense negotiation into a real collaboration, and to build genuine, productive relationships. So what's in your connection toolkit? Well, it all starts with empathy, the ability to genuinely see the world from someone else's perspective. It also requires active listening. I mean, hearing not just the words, but the meaning behind the words. And it's all built on teamwork and a deep respect for diversity, because the strongest bridges are always built with many different kinds of materials. At its very core, connection is all about communication, and the process looks pretty simple. A sender has a message, they choose a medium, and it reaches a receiver. But as we all know, a whole lot can go wrong between step 1 and step 4. And here's where it gets a little tricky. Our message travels through 3 different channels at the same time. There's the verbal, the words we choose, the written, the email we craft, and the all-powerful nonverbal, our posture, our tone, our facial expression. And when these channels are out of sync, like saying, "I'm fine," with a frown, the nonverbal one almost always wins. So, we've looked inward at ourselves, and we've looked outward at how we connect with others. Now, let's bring it all together. This final section is about taking all those skills and honing them into a sharp professional edge, focusing on how we think and how we show up in the world. You see, true professional excellence requires mastering both sides of your brain. You absolutely need critical thinking, that logical, analytical power to break down a problem and find the flaws in an argument. But you also need its partner, creative thinking, to see new possibilities and build something innovative from all the pieces. One without the other is just incomplete. So, what does this advanced toolkit look like in action? It starts with open-mindedness, just the willingness to even consider a new approach. That then leads for effective problem solving, where you can identify the real issue. And all of that leads to sharp decision-making, the ability to choose the best path forward with confidence. Ultimately, all of these skills, your self-awareness, your interpersonal abilities, your ways of thinking, they all combine and express themselves as your personality. It's really the total sum of your behavior, and it's constantly being shaped by every single experience and interaction you have. And this right here brings us to the most powerful idea of all. Your personality isn't some fixed statue you were given at birth. You are the sculptor. Every book you read, every piece of feedback you accept, every new skill you practice, it's a little tap of the chisel, shaping you into a more confident, positive, and effective professional. So where do you start? Well, it's the same way you start any great journey. You start with one step, one new habit, one skill that you decide to focus on. So I'll leave you with this question. After exploring the world inside of you and the world between you and others, what's your first step? Is it going to be self-awareness, communication, critical thinking? Pick one. Because your journey to mastering these essential skills, it starts now.